Hey everyone, it's Lady Ray and welcome to a KDA review. Whether you are a League player or a K-pop fan or none of the above, we can all agree that KDA's success was absolutely massive and the fan base is quite huge. If you have visited my channel before, you will probably notice that I have been a KDA fan or a Blade, because that is the fandom name apparently, since Pop Stars, but I never really dive into their stories and learn about the characters because I wasn't a League player. But now, thankfully, because of KDA, I took the leap and tried Wild Rift. Not gonna lie, it has been a little bit of a challenge to get used to things, you know, here and there, but overall, I definitely had a lot of fun. I'm making this video so that I can get to know Ahri a bit more and to hopefully introduce her to some of y'all that probably don't know that much about her. I'll also be sharing some of my findings and thoughts on her stories and her newest single, I'll Show You. Now, before we talk about Ahri's lore, I thought it would be interesting to dive into the origin of the nine-tailed fox. The mythical entity nine-tailed fox has many names within different cultures, such as Kumiho in Korean, Kitsune in Japanese, and Joeho in Chinese, just to name a few. It was first originated in the Chinese mythology during the Han Dynasty, where the idea of interspecies transformation started to develop. Although there are many versions of nine-tailed fox, it is often portrayed as this malevolent creature with the ability to shapeshift and often appears in a form of young and attractive women, when in reality it's actually a 1,000-year-old fox. I mean, at least thank God Ahri is not portrayed as some fucking lolly, right? It was believed that a nine-tailed fox gains superior intelligence, magical power, and immortality by consuming the essence of the sun and moon or human souls. The nine-tailed fox can be portrayed as either good or evil, sometimes with an ambiguous moral compass, so it really depends on the specific cultural version. Ahri's origin is, however, a mystery within the League of Legends Runterra lore. Not even Ahri herself knows about the origin of her kind, and it seems like she's the only one left. She's described as a Vestaya, a race within Runterra that shares both animal and human characteristics with magical powers. One of her abilities is to reshape magic into orbs of raw energy. She manipulates and charms her prey's emotion before inhaling their essence while receiving flashes of the memories from their souls. And then she became more empathetic as she gets to experience and relive those human emotion from this mortal soul. With having the twin gemstone as her only clue, she is set on a journey to find whether others like her still exist. If you want to read more about her in detail, please make sure to check the links down below in the description. But Ahri's story as a pop star is very different from the in-game lore. In the alternate KDA universe, Ahri was debuted as a solo teen pop star, which explained her old pop star skin within a game. There's also a Star Guardian skin that is very much Sailor Moon inspired. The transformation trailer was fucking epic. I mean, come on. Look at this shit. I need at least 5 seasons of this in an anime. Thank you very much. After having years of experience releasing comebacks, she finally breaks her contract with her previous label in order to focus on producing the music that she really wants to make. A few years later, she came back with the girl group KDA along with Evelyn, Kaisa, and Akali, and came back with the mega hit Pop Stars in 2018. In the KDA comic Harmonies issue 5, it mentioned how Ahri was in a dilemma of making songs for the fans or making the song for herself. Ahri finds her previous songs are cute, fun, and harmless, but it didn't represent who she truly was as an artist. Yet the label kept delaying her from making her own music and giving her empty promises, and delayed that for a straight year and never made it happen. This is a very realistic problem with a lot of entertainers or artists within different industries. A lot of the times these artists would feel pressure to create something that would sell well or receive well within an industry, and sometimes they would have little to no creative control depending on their company or label. But of course, this is very true for K-pop idols, especially with newly debuted artists or groups. When it comes to concept, choreography, and song production, it is most likely that the company makes the most decisions. K-pop idols go through years of training before even being considered to debut, while many others fail and a lot of people don't even get to debut at all. It's not news that trainee will get in debt for enrolling the training system of a company, and then later after they debut they will clear the debt. So it's not really a surprise that companies have a bigger say in things for newer artists. At the end of the day, it is business and they have to make sure they're making a profit. And with any industry, mistreatment and neglect can definitely happen. There are definitely times where artists gets shoved under the rug because they're not as big as before, or they don't hit as big of a profit as before. In Ahri's case, it seems that she has given up her previous solo career in order to make songs that are not just fun or safe. Perhaps the songs were too bubblegum pop-ish, but some would argue that the songs KDA have put out is considered quite mainstream. I mean, they literally took inspiration from K-pop, and that is one of the biggest pop music that is definitely very in trend right now. In Ahri's latest single, I'll Show You, featuring Bekuh, Boom, Annika, Well, and Twice. Hello, this is like quite of a big deal. I don't think we ever get like a Twice collaboration with someone else, so this is definitely a huge thing in itself already, one of the biggest girl group in K-pop right now. Now, in the concept video of that, the narrative of the images is very much the opposite of what the song represent at first sight. I'll Show You is a cheerful, triumphant song. However, most of the time we see this sad and depressed Ahri in the concept video, and a lot of slow-paced movement with a nostalgic, grainy filter over the visuals. Not gonna lie, the more I watched it, the more I feel like the song definitely do not match the concept visuals at all. Personally, it was my least favorite song within the All Out EP. But later, I was reminded again of the Ahri's introduction for the song I'll Show You on the KDA All Out Spotify. Ahri said, "There's so much that I'm so grateful for, but it's easy to end up feeling trapped in the room of your own making. In life, there will always be voices from within and without telling you what you can't do. They're often the loudest right when you need to take the leap." How she mentioned about feeling trapped and taking the leap definitely stood out to me, because that is exactly what is included within a concept video. Imagery such as being trapped in a cage or in the crystal could be representing that she felt stuck in her career and not being able to produce the things that she truly wants. The broken mirror shows a broken identity of Ahri while reflecting on her current self with KDA. That could be representing her self-doubt and self-loathe. And that scene of her transition walking from the street to the backstage, I understood it as bringing the viewer together with her and walk down her memory lane. We see multiple of Ahri's walking down the stairs without an end or exit. Perhaps that's to show how deep the negative thoughts can consume you and literally sucking you into this downward spiral. And the scenes where it shows that Ahri was performing in front of an empty crowd, I think it was about proving that she needs to sing for herself and to prove to herself that she can overcome this fear and break free from her own mind. When she finally decides to take the leap, we see Ahri breaking free from the cage and how the sky just lights up, setting that joyful and hopeful tone that fits the song a lot better. Although I still feel that the song and visuals contradicts one another, that is the whole point of the message. You can look fine and dandy on the outside and still feel like crap in the inside, having all of your voices endlessly haunt you and feel very conflicted. No matter how successful you are, you can still feel like you're unworthy or not capable, or you value too much of others' opinions over your own. Imposter syndrome is totally a thing. I've read somewhere that fear is your brain's way of protecting you from the familiar or the unknown so that you wouldn't get hurt. And sometimes it is up to us to take over that control and overcome those inner demons. Now that I've given Ahri's story a closer look, I've definitely grown to appreciate the song a lot more, and I hope that you did too. It was really fun diving into Ahri's stories and knowing more about her character. I truly have a great respect for the writers behind, you know, the creation of these champions, or, you know, KDA as a whole. Sure, there are definitely things that could be improved on, but they show me a new world that I never knew was possible until Popstar, and it definitely led me to a lot of you guys because of KDA. So I'm definitely very thankful for that, and I definitely hope that they keep this KDA thing coming in the future. Thank you to the viewers who have been joining me on this journey so far, and if you would like to support the channel, I do have a Ko-fi page and the link will be down in the description below. Any tip is greatly appreciated. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!